Welcome back to another week of marathon training for the REVEL Big Bear Marathon in November. Oh, sorry, baby. Today is Monday, June 9th, 2025. I am currently warming up some leftover Costco pizza for lunch. I need to look over here. That's cool. So that's my lunch today. I had a cafe latte premier protein shake for breakfast. That's kind of been my routine now that school's out. That's kind of my routine as of right now, although routine is just a word at this point because it's summer, and so things get all kind of wonky sometimes during the summer because vacations and get-togethers and everything else. So, which you'll see this week, so tune in. Anyway, well, keep watching this video, I guess. Anyway, whatever. But that's what I've had so far for food-wise. I've done, as far as water, I've done 16, I've done 32. This is my third glass, so 32 plus 16, that's what, 48. So that's where I am with water so far. I have a 3-mile run on the horizon for today. Tomorrow I want to do my long run because I'm going out of town later this week. And let's see, long run. Oh, I have to go get an adventure pass at some point today because I'm planning on going up into the mountains. Because like I mentioned, I don't think I mentioned it in the last video, but the first video, I want to try, as I mentioned, I want to try and get used to running up in that higher elevation since I'm literally running down a hill. So I want to make sure I'm used to it as much as I can. So tomorrow is my long run. It's a 6-mile run tomorrow, and I'm planning on doing it up in the mountains. We'll see realistically if that ends up happening. I am hoping it ultimately just depends on if I get motivated enough to go get the pass today, because sometimes I just am lazy. So that's that. I will check in, well, either when I have food next or when I do my run. I guess you'll find out when I do. Oh, that's interesting. Playing with a new setting here. Ooh. Wait, so this just eliminates the background? Like blurs out the background? Anyways, hi. I'm gonna film this clip like this in this setting because why not? Anyway, I finished. Anyway, I had a banana. I don't know if I said that already. And now I'm warming up some coffee, and I'm going to have some coffee with hazelnut creamer. I'm going to have it hot today. And there's a box around my face. Sorry, I'm playing with the cinematic setting on my phone. So I think that just focuses in on me and not so much the background, which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'll probably go back to the normal setting for the next clip. Who knows? I guess you'll find out. Here are the stats. 13:06 average pace. 13:19, 3 miles. Exactly. Let's go talk about that. That was, I don't know what to say. Sorry. I don't know what to say about that run. Part of me's like, oh, it feels like a pretty good run. I worked up a sweat. I, for the most part, was running at a pretty good pace. Then part of me's like, that run sucked because I didn't hit my average pace, and I walked some of it. I walked a good amount, actually. So I did a 3-mile run. I did a running workout on iFit today. I don't know what I was expecting. I thought when I was doing it about a half mile in, I realized I'm like, okay, I'm walking this. At that point, I was thinking maybe I'll just call this my easy run and just do 2 miles. And then so I started running a little bit because I didn't want to just walk it. And then I'm like, no, because I really need to make sure I stick with my 3-mile run today. Tomorrow is going to be my long run for the week. I need to make sure I do my longer runs now because I'm going to be going out of town. I think I mentioned it. I either mentioned it today or maybe I mentioned it in the last video. I don't know. But I'm going out of town for a few days. When I'm out of town, I'm going to want to do my shorter, easier workouts. So that was my motivation. And so I spent most of the time trying to kind of trying to catch my pace up, pretty much. I wanted to try and get it back under 12 minutes. But then that in turn caused me to really go fast, and then this cycle of walk, run type of thing, instead of having a consistent pace that was decent, I had a lot of so in a way it's good because it gives me a chance to I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, it helps with like the speed work because it gives me a chance to have that speed to work in speed. So I actually went up to a 6.3 at one point today, which was cool. So I really want to work on speed. So that's what I'm gonna be doing a lot on the treadmills. I'm hoping to do more of that kind of stuff eventually, but we'll see. Anyway, 13:06. I want to see what a 13-minute mile. Trying to think. I'd have to do the math. How about this? Let's see. Let's ask the watch. Siri, what's 13 times 26.2? Siri, divide that by 60. 13-minute mile is 5 2/3 hour. Do the math. According to the watch. So I want to get sub 5:30. 2/3 of an hour before, so this would be around a 5:40. So I got some work to do. Probably 5:40, 5:50. So got some work to do, but it could have gone worse. Food wise, I know I kind of talked about it some. I'm not going to talk a whole lot more about it. I had some cheesecake. I'm going to go have some snackage. It's going to be a wonky kind of day. This week's going to be wonky as far as food goes, so I'm not going to talk. I probably won't talk too much more about it. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, but not a whole lot of food because life. Also, this fan is a lifesaver. Okay, bye. I'll probably see you tomorrow. I probably won't check in anymore. Alright guys, so I want to talk real quick about today's run. It was a 6-miler. I did get a little bit of footage while I was on it. I didn't end up going up to where I was going to go up. It just didn't happen, but I did go into kind of up into the mountains a little bit, not quite as high as elevation as I was like hoping or whatever, but you know, whatever. It's fine. I ran through a little over half, so I ran through a little over the 3-mile mark. Then the second half was kind of a flop. So I got overheated and I didn't learn my lesson the last time, and I didn't take my water with me. So it's the same story as last time when I did my my first week when I did my 4-mile run. I'm like, oh, I need to, make sure I drink water because it's hot and stuff. I didn't learn. I guess I didn't learn. because I didn't take my water with me when I should have. So I think if I had, I would have done better. So I just need to get in that habit, I guess, of bringing the water. I think it was like I think the average pace was a little over 15-minute mile. I did end up walking most of the second half of the run, so there's that. I just gotta build myself up to this. I think just keep working on it and make sure I build myself up to this. That way I can do better. That's all I'm going to talk about today, because I'm not really talking about food a whole lot this week. So, but I will say I need some calories, and probably some electrolytes. So that's that. All right, guys. It's Wednesday, June 11th, 2025, and now I am getting ready to go do my run for today. It's like almost 3 o'clock. I'm just gonna do a treadmill run. I'm gonna focus on doing a 12-minute mile, and I'm gonna focus on maintaining that speed. So I'm gonna try not to bump my speed up. I'm gonna try and keep it maintained so I don't have to walk any of it, or I'm gonna try and just focus on a consistent speed. 3-mile run done, 11:37 average pace. Let's talk. All right, so 3-mile run done. Just sitting here cooling off. I'm not as hot as I was the last time I ran out here, so I don't know how relevant that is. Anyways, like I said, I was gonna try and work on more consistent pace. I ended up going between a 5.0 and a 5.3 the whole time. And the way I did that, I didn't really structure it anyway. I just started off at a 5.0, and then I felt like I could go faster, so I just increased the pace a couple times. And then and then another thing about treadmill is I can look at the time and be like, okay, 1 more minute. I have certain like time markers where I'm like, okay, let's get some water. Let's go to the next minute, or let's go to this time. As running is just a mental game. That's what it is. So I just played some mental mind tricks with myself there. I ended up running. I didn't back down the pace until about maybe 2.5 miles in or so. I don't know. Again, wasn't really paying that much attention. I also just was watching a YouTube video to help help with the time, pass the time. Because I get bored too easily, so. But this was a good workout, good run. I feel good about it. I think this specific workout kind of solidified for me that treadmill runs will help with the speed. So I need to make sure I'm doing more treadmill runs, I guess. For speed, I think I want to keep my long runs outside still, easy runs outside. But if I can get in the treadmill maybe at least once or twice a week, that would probably be best. Just until I do better about keeping a decent pace on my outdoor runs, because it's not happening. So it's a work in progress. Anyway, that's my thoughts about the run. I just got sweat in my eye. That's wonderful. Anyway, I'm gonna shower and then I'm leaving, and I'll see you tomorrow for my workout without sweat in my eye. All right, Thursday, June 12th. supposed to be an easy run today, but I'm just gonna do a walk because that's what's gonna happen. And just like that, it is Saturday night. I did a swim today for my cross training day. This week's been a weird week with the training. You saw, the other day, instead of doing my 2 mile easy run, I did a little bit of a walk, and it was like less than a quarter mile. It wasn't even anything to write home about. But I don't know. I did spend the day on jet skis, which supposedly that's a workout, but I don't know. I don't consider it. But if you want to, then there's that. Anyway, it's Saturday. Like I said, I was going to do a cross training today. I was going to do some strength training, but I ended up just going in the pool for a little bit, not a lot. I got to work on my cross training days, that's for sure. Got to work on that structure. I don't really know if next week's going to be any better just because it's got stuff going on. But, yeah, so tomorrow I got to make sure I get a 2 mile run in, which at some point I will, so there's that. But I just wanted to check in real quick because I haven't really checked in the last few days. So there's my check-in. See you tomorrow. 2 miles done.